Ruskin are really pleased to sponsor this evening because we think manufacturers are the link to make sure collaboration works really well. We have the knowledge which all the disciplines are looking for, and we can help make collaboration such a key part of the industry.
Collaboration is a great word, but it means a lot of different things to different people. So we have decided to put a question time session together to try and move it all on, maybe come out with a couple of practical things we can do both as patrons but also as the professional institutions and also as the trade association, the Building and Engineering Services Association.
The industry is quite a social industry. It used to be more sociable in my view, and it's less today, certainly when you go out into the regions. We don't need to be afraid of being a building services contractor. I think it's something I'm personally quite proud of, and I think it's a great industry. We just need to shout about it a little bit more. And I've talked in the past about we need to do more with architects. When I was a young engineer, architects were my best friends in industry because we wanted to work on their projects, we wanted to understand them. And I believe it comes back to education, and it comes back to the way that we work together. It's understanding what the common goal and what we're trying to achieve, and we need to stop thinking about stripping cost out all the time, and we need to be looking at how we can add true value, and part of that to me is through education and starting to educate our clients.
I don't like the concept, I don't like the phrase educating a client. I certainly believe that an engagement program with clients are a way forward. So that we can demonstrate how we deliver best value for them.
I think our industry, in particular, through the last recession, not the one we're just sort of coming through, lost a lot of people who would probably be in their sort of 45 bracket now, who would be the mentors, and where before you had people come out of qualification, they had a mentor. I think the industry has got itself where we don't have that group of mentors. We are all very, very busy, and we tend to sort of believe that an MSc student can do it, and it's a bit deep end. Yeah, I think there's a lot we need to learn as companies and as professional institutes to sort of change that skill gap, really.
For me, one area to attack would be creating a curriculum for the built environment, a modern one. I think it's long overdue. When I was fortunate enough to join the industry I joined as a YTS on a CITB program. The first year of that was an introduction to construction. Best 12 months I've ever done in my education. I think that our three organisations should start to map out a 12-month curriculum as a CPD program. It doesn't matter how it's delivered, but I think that'd be a great idea.
What we are doing, and RIBA Council has now agreed a 5-point plan to rethink architectural education, but part of that will be thinking about the whole aspect of delivery, about business skills, about collaboration throughout the whole 7 years of an architectural education. That's one thing we're doing. What we should be doing at the institutional level is starting to think about how we collaborate together, so that strategically we have to be working together in order to lead.
Sarah Kassam from CIBSE, she's Head of Sustainability at CIBSE, is asking our second question. How do we actually make collaboration work in practice? People on the ground are involved in projects with program and budget constraints, so a silo approach seems to be the least risky approach to making sure work is delivered.
Now, as contractors sitting in my silo, we build what is specified and what's put on the drawings. So one area where we could collaborate better is by having specifications that are clearly written, that don't contradict themselves. And that is a huge problem for industry, because you could have 3 or 4 sets of documents that all contradict.
I have to say that I believe entirely the opposite, that a silo mentality increases risk for delivery of the project and for our clients. And Construction 2025 is very clear in saying that, if we are to deliver the targets that the government have set down for us, that has to be done by collaboration, and we're not going to achieve it by working in silos.
I'd like to hear your comments on how can we make it easier to collaborate with the money that gets in the way, I think.
Yeah, some of the stories that I hear again, from the small contractors, it's quite disturbing what they have to tolerate, the way that they have to shop for credit to fund the projects. You know, they can't collaborate with their supply chain because they can only get so much credit from various distributors. So they're shopping that around.
We seem to have lost this notion that, and many of my members complain constantly about level of fees. If we could demonstrate to clients, and again, there's a program of work going on here, if we can demonstrate to clients that by working for a reasonable fee delivers best value for your client, then that is a way in which we overcome that problem.
We can try and tidy up a collaborative approach between the costs, the engineering and the architecture. What is exactly got to be delivered for that stage, then we can price and bid the job to deliver that.
I think that what you learn on site is very applicable to then how you design a project and how you collaborate with the team and what information do you give to them. Do you recognize basically what it is that they need to know so that they can do their job?
If you're on a major project, that could be 5 years. By the time you've started and finished that, the world's completely different when you come out of it. And what we traditionally do in construction is we might have a lessons learned, you know, sort of 5.5 years beyond the start date and try and feed something back that is completely irrelevant. I'm sure digital technology should be able to speed up that process.
Each of you to give us one thing that we can take away from this and lead forward. I'd like you to do, if you can, is just summarize maybe just one thing, possibly two, that you would like to pass on for us to keep going, working together.
I think one of the first things we need to do is define what collaboration is and what it means. I don't think we've really done that. There are 20-odd trade associations. There's a whole handful of institutes that have all got saying slightly different things. They're all collaborating. We're all collaborating with everybody. and we have to define what it means. And we have to define what's important to us as well. And you can't. You've got to. We have to identify some areas that we can start to work on.
I think really the problem with the professional institutions, the professional bodies, is there's too many of us shouting different things. So I think one of the things I'd like to try and do, and I don't know, it comes back to herding cats. I think to get 32 plus professional institutions and 30-odd trade associations all singing the same song will be very difficult. So it's to try and focus, and I think maybe a smaller group with a quick win.
It's simply put, we need to collaborate on collaboration. But what I do think is that the four major built environment institutes should get together and collaborate. Even if it's not via CIC, we should collaborate on a subject-based agenda.
Thank you very much. Well, there we do have some concrete ways forward, so that's been really, really very useful. Thank you very much. I think a round of applause for our three presidents. Thank you.